guys, I'm Evelyn Yaponti, as you know, and you see this beautiful panel of women here. And the reason why we have them today is because I am going to have them answer all of your deep desired questions that you've been asking. And not only from me are you going to get the answers, but you're going to get them from other women here. So welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us. Excited.
Awesome. So I have a list of questions. We're going to talk about when men approach you. This is the first topic that we're going to talk about, guys. So you viewers that are watching this video, we are going to be talking about when men approach women, and I'm literally going to ask them the questions on how they feel when you approach them. So let's start with some questions. All right, so I just want this to be some girl talk, so don't mind the cameras. We're all here, and give them the truth, because obviously this is why they want to know. And just everybody has a different opinion, so don't think that you always have to agree either, okay? All right, so first question is, do you feel like pickup lines are cheesy or lame?
No, I think they can be cute.
Yeah?
This is the right pickup line. I think it's cute.
Yeah?
Yes.
I think it's funny.
If
I
it's
like the funny ones. Funny and witty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever, is there like a pickup line that sticks out to you that someone has said to you before and you were like?
It's something that was not a general one, but they actually paid attention maybe to something that I was wearing, and I made a witty comment or joke about it that like actually was smart. I'm like, okay, that's a really good one. But the canned ones, the ones that like I feel they use for everyone, that one doesn't. Like you can see right through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the canned ones that they use for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna get back to that one.
I remember one. It was kind of cute. Like I was actually waiting for my girlfriend at the restaurant, at the bar, and a guy came up to me and asked me if I'm lost. And I'm like,
That's cute.
And he said, because I heard God is missing one of his angels.
That's a really good one.
That's
That's cute.
super cute. Of course, it put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is like a lot of men think that they shouldn't compliment a girl, like when they approach them, like never compliment on beauty. Like a lot of men teach other men don't compliment a girl on their beauty when you first approach them, because then you give away your control, but you already give away control when you approach somebody easily. So the thing about it is like to understand that I'm a big believer that you can compliment a woman automatically, like what you just said too. So yeah, I remember I had one pickup line and the guy literally walked by me and it was just funny. And he's like, "Damn, Mom, can I buy you a house?" No, that was funny, you know.
That's funny.
All right, so let's move on to the next question. How do you feel about a guy talking to you and not buying you a drink within the first 20 to 30 minutes when you're at a bar?
If my drink is almost done or is over, I like when they offer that. It's like, hey, I wanna, because it's a sign of service, like taking care of you, making sure you're good, and that's detail oriented too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about getting the drink from the person, because I'll order another one anyways if I want one. But it's about, I want to take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like,
I agree 100% with that. Yeah. You can buy your own drink. But it's about them offering and like you said, noticing and just noticing rather than what they're trying to do, noticing what you need. And so it's like really an even exchange.
Mm-hmm.
it also doesn't work if my drink is full and they ask, then they're not paying attention.
Exactly.
So
That's a good point.
it's about are they paying attention to what I need at that moment?
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Because I think also too, when a guy's paying attention and he buys you a drink, okay, for example, you have to reward a woman. Like, women are feminine essence, and if we are sticking around to talk to you, you reward a woman. And that is by compliments, your energy, your dialogue, she's rewarding you at the same time, and then by a drink. Not to say, okay, here's a drink, I'm rewarding you, and here you deserve a drink, not in that mindset, but it gives us something to constantly engage with you in. And then also too, when a guy does this, he is not only paying attention to detail, but it shows, number one, how he can somewhat lead, his superiorness, his masculine energy, and all that stuff, and it's somewhat attractive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. So when a guy is nervous talking to you, how does that make you feel?
I like it.
Really?
I kind of like it because especially if it's an attractive guy or a guy that like you could tell walks around and has some sort of confidence. Like you can feel that. As women, we can feel things. We can feel your essence. We can feel your confidence. So if there's a guy approaching
and you could tell that he might like slip up on some words or like get a little, that is a compliment right there. That I could tell that you find me attractive and you had the strength and the courage to come up and approach me and say something to me, and that took you out of your comfort zone. That's attractive right there.
Yeah.
That shows me that you're willing to try things out of your comfort zone, that you're willing to like go out of and do that extra mile, and that also means that you're going to push me to do that too. It's a very attractive quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you guys, you girls, when a guy gets nervous?
Yeah, because I mean, they still actually did it, even though they were nervous. My fiance was totally nervous, and then later on after, he was like, "You are so intimidating, but I just wanted to get to know you more." So like, he was, and I could tell too that he was. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, and like kind of like push him more to see like what else he'd say, but he just kept going, you know, like showing up, basically, despite being like, he said like he was intimidated, he was nervous, but he also knew that he wanted to pursue me. So I thought that was amazing. Like,
But how about if he was like, how about if a guy was nervous and you weren't interested in his looks at all? Like he was not interesting to you at all, and he approached you and he was nervous. How does it make you feel?
I'm
It's
so
the same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it's the same.
It shows vulnerability, I think,
Yeah.
which is a really powerful thing that the guys can show you early on. But it's like a confidence with vulnerability is important.
Yeah.
When they say like, I'm a little nervous to ask you.
Yes.
And so if I'm not attracted to him, I'm like, thank you, I appreciate it. But
Yeah.
So when they say it, it's whether I'm attracted to them or not, it kind of
Yeah.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, I think that's a perfect point. I'm so glad you said that, because I actually talk a lot about how men, like introverted or shy guys, when they approach a girl, what they should do is actually call out that they're shy and that they're nervous to approach her because she's beautiful and she's intimidating.
Yes.
And usually women that are independent or superior or in any way in their mind will step down and kind of just be like, okay, you know what I mean? Because we are nurturing at some essence, right? Not every woman is like this, but some women will be like, get out of my face type of thing, you know? I probably done that in my 20s a long time ago, but I think that also too, for me, when a guy approaches me that's nervous, I somewhat get nervous a little bit. So that's why we kind of talk about too as the guys that let's like just try to kind of break your nerves. And how do you do it? It's just by repetition. Just keep on doing it again and approaching women. All right, so what's the best advice you could give a guy with how to approach you or a woman? What's the best advice?
Okay,
you can
definitely
give
with a
to
smile.
Yeah, smile.
I think focus is important. Like I like someone, you know, because if you're at a bar and it could seem like a free-for-all, and I've had it be in the past where maybe somebody was talking to me and their eyes were going somewhere else. And that's actually unattractive to me, even with anybody in a professional setting. With women, it's like focus on me in that moment, even though you're in a crowded space.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, because I actually talk about eye contact in the video, so that's awesome.
And I like when they stay sober.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like such a, even if they're like super hot and confident, and if they just drink too much,
Yeah.
That's a term.
like I think for guys, I would tell every guy, even if you're out with your guys, just like stay.
Don't get too drunk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the questions. I go, what do you think about a drunk guy approaching you? And we can all agree it's horrible. Literally horrible, guys. Do not do it. I talk about that so much too.
It can make a woman feel unsafe.
Yeah.
If a drunk guy is approaching, I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know what you're trying to do. But now your inhibitions are down. I don't feel safe now.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the number one thing. As women, we want to feel safe. Like we choose our mate, the partner that's going to make us somewhat feel safe, right? And bring that into us. It's not like he's going to make us feel safe, but he's going to be the person that is by our side that protects in a way, which we can go into in the attraction video. And then I talked about what is creepy eye. I wanted to ask the next question. You kind of answered it, but I want to go into it. Is like, what is creepy eye contact when a guy approaches you?
Well, yeah, like what I was just saying with like looking, like you're looking at me, but then you're looking around me, and then I'm turning around. Like, it's just a little off. I mean, I get easily distracted anyway, so you're distracting me. I don't even plan to focus on the conversation right now, because now I'm looking at you. And it's just a big mess. Because when someone focuses on you, you focus on them. It's almost, I like to be made to feel a little nervous, almost make me feel nervous.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
intensity.
Yeah.
But not creepiness.
Okay,
Just
but how do you decipher, how do you like explain that to a guy?
There's a fine line. I think it's energy. It's there's a creepy energy.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not
you
just
can
with
feel
the,
it.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
not just the eyes, but it's like a creepy energy.
Staring.
Oh,
Staring is
staring.
creepy.
Yeah.
Like a
Staring too long.
And sometimes
No,
they'll
just
just make
staring at
faces
you.
that you're like,
And they'll drinking, they're like this.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Serious.
Oh, very creepy.
looking down when someone's talking to you at your boob. I don't have big boobs, so but I see it happening all the time. You know, like looking, they're checking you out, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
body. Yeah,
If
you're
they're
checking
checking
out.
out body, that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you can feel that they're undressing you with their eyes. Like, you know, you feel, you just like, ugh.
it makes you feel
Yeah,
violated.
like,
You
I
know,
have
it's energy.
to object to that sometimes because if someone's like hot and I'm like, and he looks at me that way, I'm like, like it actually turns me on.
Yeah.
Someone like checks me out, but not creepy checking me out.
But yeah,
But
yeah, it was an
But I have a
attractive
question.
exchange of energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a
Energy
question on
feel.
that. If a guy was hot, right, but he just approached you don't know anything about him, and the conversation really wasn't like you haven't got to know each other yet, but he still looked at you like that, would it still turn you on, or do you need the somewhat of a conversation to get where he is mentally?
No, sometimes it could be from far where it's like a look of like,
yes. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because in that case, I agree with that.
because I can look at guys that way too from afar.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
And you leave it to the imagination. Yeah, that leaves room for imagination of like, just, every woman wants to be desired.
Yeah.
And I think that
And
it works when you're far away, but when you're one-on-one, it can feel a little
yeah.
Because if you get into your like energy field, like a little bit, especially ones that
Yeah,
talk
no.
to you too close, and you're just like, step away.
So how does the guy know that you are actually into him when he's talking to you? Which we'll talk a little bit about in the attraction next video.
Body language. Yeah.
What do you do? Like, what is the body language that you would typically do?
I tend to lean in more, and I'll actually like look at them and like be engaged, and I ask more leading questions. I don't end it with statements.
Got it. Yep, that's
Yeah,
a
like
good
if
point.
I don't want to
Yeah.
talk to someone, I'm really like short, and I'm like, okay, thank you. I just don't entertain it, But if I'm attracted to someone, they're talking to me, I want to continue a conversation, so I also ask questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely show interest for
Yeah.
sure.
I know you will. Spicy Latino, just like me. Okay, so next question I want to know: how quick can a guy get your number when he approaches you?
Well, everything depends on the conversation, depends if you're attracted to him. So for me, I just don't give phone number, just like even if the guy is hot or I'm attracted to him, if he comes up to me and asks me for numbers, I'm not gonna give. He has to show me interest, he has to earn my number. So it depends on the conversation, and conversation is very important for me. So even though you're hot and good looking and this and that, but if the conversation is lacking and if I don't get interest at his mind, I will not give a phone number.
Would you say like the conversations can't be superficial conversations?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm trying to identify and like kind of like resemble, like
Yes.
find a similarity or
Yes.
something.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I agree
any
with
other,
that.
how quick can you give a guy your number? Give a guy your number.
I would agree with that unless it's like a quick, let's say we're moving and there was like an attraction and he's like, man, like I'm really attracted to you, I want to get to know you. Are you open to connecting after?
Yeah.
Let's say it was at the end of an event and we just like, boom, then I'm like, yeah, sure. So it just depends.
Yeah.
But most of the time it's like, let me hear you. What questions are you gonna ask me? What's your energy? What's your smile?
What if you're not attracted to the guy and he's like, can I just get your number? What do you say?
No.
Yeah, you tell him no, or you're like, oh, let me give him a fake number.
No,
No, I don't like saying that number.
That depends. In the 20s, it
Yeah.
was easier to
good
just
point.
give a number.
Yeah.
When they were younger and everything, it was just easier to just to get someone away or whatever. Because sometimes guys can be aggressive. They're asking, they're not hearing me. So sometimes it would just be easier to just, okay, here's the number, and then I'm just never gonna message back. But now getting older, being a woman, seeing that and like respecting myself and respecting the other person too and their time. No, if I'm not interested, I'm gonna let you know. No, I'm sorry, I don't do that. But thank you for asking. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Cool. That's a really, really good point. I talk a lot about that, like women, and because even like in the 20s, like for all of us, probably because I know you guys personally too. In our 20s, we were probably going through a growth spurt, obviously, and finding a lot about our womanhood. And now that you've reached that point, but there's a lot of women too that get married in their 20s and then find their growth spurt in their 40s or 50s because then they get a divorce and then they go through this. So it's really important for men to identify kind of where they are, and I give them those tools to kind of do that. And we're going to talk about that in the attraction video as well, guys. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to have another questions. How do you feel about a guy going out alone and coming up to you? He's alone, and there's like probably a busy environment.
That he went by himself. I love that.
Yeah.
There's some guys don't. There's some men that can't go out by themselves, and I don't find that attractive because I like to go to the bar by myself sometimes, and it's like someone that can hold his own by himself and just hang out and not be with girls or with all his guys. I like that.
I like that, but I also like a guy that has friends. It says a lot about them, especially if the friends like talk so good about him. But if he's a loner and doesn't have that many friends,
I get that because it shows like a little bit about who the kind of people are
Yes,
that he's associated with, which does say a lot about them.
I love to have a lot of friends and good friends, so I want him to have friends too.
So I have a question. So if a guy came up to you and he was alone and you asked him like, where are your friends? And he just says, I'm alone. How would it make you feel?
He doesn't elaborate on it?
Yeah, he doesn't elaborate on it. He just says,
I think it really depends. So I used to travel, I still travel a lot for work, but before, like in my 20s, when I used to travel for like conferences and things like that, I was in a very male-dominated industry, so I was always like there on my own. So there would be sometimes men by themselves. I think when they approach, I'm big on energy. Like you can sense when someone is like has a weird intention versus, hey, like, you know, I'm also here at the conference by myself or something. You know what I mean? Like,
But how about if he lives in Miami? You're in Miami, and he's like, no, I'm just here alone. And
but doesn't elaborate on it?
Doesn't elaborate.
I think that's, I don't know, that's kind of weird.
I think it depends on the environment.
Yeah.
If you're out at a club and he's out at a club
Like a
by
lounge or
himself,
something. Yeah.
no, that kind of
dinner
makes
place.
me feel like, oh, he's on the hunt.
Yeah.
And I feel like,
So how about if it was the same situation and he replies and he's like, yeah, I'm alone, but I know it takes a really confident guy to come out here and be alone, and I just wanted to do it and be by myself today and test my boundaries and
Nice.
test my challenges.
I like that.
I like
It's
that.
intentional.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind it.
Okay, cool.
Bring out his comfort zone.
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's,
When guys
yeah.
can go by themselves. I mean, I like guys with friends too, but I love that a guy can go out by himself. Like,
Yeah.
I like to dance salsa, and sometimes I'll just go, and people are there by themselves all the time, just to dance.
Yeah.
There's shark energy, and then there's like I'm here to dance energy.
Yeah. Like I'm just here to.
You know, like
you can sense that. You can, I think you can sense it.
Yeah.
Actually, it really depends. It's not like a clear cut, you know, because there's definitely been men before who approached me on their own, and I felt like the energy was good, and how they approached it, I felt safe. Versus those you can feel are like sharks. Like,
Especially if they're by themselves, and like you see women have gone up to them, and they don't engage in everyone, and they're very particular. You can tell, and then they come up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, he's like choosy. He didn't come here to hook up. He's paying now.
Yeah.
Trying to have a good time.
Because I really find it a turn off when a guy can't go out by himself. He has to have his friends.
Yeah, and he has to have someone with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be kind of balanced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
When do you feel it's okay for a guy to touch you? This is when you just met him, he approached you. So when do you feel like it's a good time for a guy to touch you?
I don't think he should touch you at all when he just meets you.
Yeah.
This is a totally turn off, and I actually get
Turned off.
Yeah.
Turned off.
I think it
this
depends.
is a no-no.
If you've been talking for a little bit and you've made me laugh and there's laughter, chances are I'm gonna be the one to lead first with that and touch your arm.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So I'm gonna typically be the one to lead that cue anyway of like, oh my god, that's really funny, like, oh, and like kind of lean in and you'll see it, you know?
Yeah, look for the signals.
Yeah.
And the girls typically will initiate and just like kind of touch or whatever. But I think too, if the guy's having a conversation, he can lightly like kind of tap your hand.
Or like when he goes like this. Or,
Yeah.
I like my love language is touch, so it's like I like when they're, you know, even if I just send them like, hey, how are you? Like, and they do that, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Also, it depends if there's a lot of people and it's a closed space and it's just like a natural. Is it natural or is it forced? I think that makes a big difference.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, have you ever felt comfortable with a guy you don't know who has entered your personal space and tapped you anywhere within the first 2 minutes?
you anywhere with
Tap to you?
Have
Like
you ever
approach.
felt comfortable with a guy you don't know who has entered your personal space and either tapped you anywhere within the first minutes, like tapped you here? Like, okay,
Just
for
like,
example,
hello,
a
yes.
best thing for I can say is you're walking
Mhm.
and all of a sudden you feel a tap like this.
Oh,
Someone just
okay.
doing this automatically and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then the guy tries to talk to you.
It's a little you feel like a little violated.
Yes.
Why are you touching me just now? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So from behind
You
is
can
like,
say hello instead of do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the reason why I ask is because I tell my guys always too, when you're approaching a woman, never come from
Don't go
behind.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the number one trigger for us is we want to feel safe.
Yeah.
When you all put us like that, you already put us in the energy of defense.
Yeah.
And so when you approach, we're like, okay, yeah, I gotta go. Like it's just weird.
Yeah.
Instead, you come around and just say, I'm sorry, I just had to stop you in your tracks because you're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
We gotta see you.
Bring it down to the basics, you know? Yeah.
We gotta see you.
Yeah. So see
Turn around and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's it.
That's a big thing. 'Cause a lot of guys do that. They'll just tap, and they're just shy, so they'll just tap and like and then just like
They don't realize that's not a good way to approach something.
exactly.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so next question: where's the most unusual place that you've ever been approached?
I would say grocery stores and your
Oh,
hair are
grocery
like
stores.
totally, you're in your sweats, your hair are totally messy up, you don't expect that, and then there's like this good looking guy coming up to you and
Yeah.
approach you. That was like very unexpected.
Yeah. How do you deal with it? Do you still like engage with him, or are you like still a little self-conscious?
Of course, like I say, depends what he, depends like, yeah, I play along.
Yeah.
Because he was, obviously very attractive.
Yeah.
So,
How do you feel about a guy approaching you at the gym?
When I used to be at Equinox, I did not want, because I made this like mistake before when I did date someone from my gym and then it didn't work out and it was awkward and you had to see them all over again. So after that, I made it a rule, like I just don't, I
It's your
don't
safe
want to,
space.
yeah, I don't want to see, that awkwardness. So I just, after that was like no gym for me. Just because I think that's my like time to just like let go, like my me time. And I'm like sweaty and like I don't want to. For me personally, I think that experience taught me like, okay, like I'm not gonna ruin that space that's like mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about anybody else?
Also with work, so my boyfriend, I met him through my business or our company.
Yeah.
And it was about a year ago, and that was a little awkward because I'm, worrying about, first of all, like you want to be respected as a woman. I'm in a male-dominated industry. I'm in insurance, so you already know people have their opinions on that. And there's a lot of people that are actually married and whatnot and are partnered up. So when someone, I know with Eve at the beginning when he approached me, I was a little bit, so I'm like, okay, are my colleagues watching? What are they going to think? And, it was felt a little awkward.
Yeah. Well, so the gym and the workplace can be awkward. I actually wrote to ask a question about the workplace and attraction video. Okay, so a couple more questions I have for you. So, has there ever been a time you wanted a guy to approach you? If so, do you give any signals, and what are they?
Yeah, the flip the hair back, the eye contact, the body
contact.
language, the
Eye
neon
contact.
sign that says, come on.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. Yes. Yeah.
And
of course you get all pretty.
You like it.
Yeah.
You even, yeah, and if they're not getting it, you'll even go as far as like trying to do something. Hello.
So, eye contact, like more than like 3 seconds, and
You smile.
Especially because I'm attracted to a guy. I don't know. There's something in their eyes. When I'm attracted to someone, it's something in their eyes. So just by looking at them, like I'm already engaging in something, and then they just come straight to me.
Yeah.
That happened a lot.
You know, I like the smile, but when I get nervous, like I don't, like I'll
I'm
see
like
them
that
and I'm
too.
like,
Yeah.
but I'm not like
I
come
get
over,
you. I know
it's
it's
not open either. So sometimes
I'm
people
that
think like
person.
it's a sign where it's like come over, and really it's not, because it's like,
That's a
okay,
good
come
one.
over here, come over here. So I'm like, yeah, I hope he knows that I want him to come over, but I don't say like, yeah, hi,
Yeah.
No,
I like
no,
that too.
like,
So like whenever
I
say
don't
guy, I
have
think
the-
she's looking at me and I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, like that was
yeah,
me.
so it's for me, it's not, I don't think it's a yes, come over,
Yeah.
actually.
So what would you say so obviously half of the women up here besides me and Britt are, I mean, I think it depends on what mood I am. I'm a Gemini, so I think that
It depends on what you're out looking like too. Is your hair up? Am I going to the
Do you
gym?
feel
Am I going? Do I feel
confident?
confident that
So what
day?
are signals that you're shy? Like you just kind of like you give the side like smile, right? Like
Yeah.
you give like you're not all the way
Side
smiling, but you're like
smile.
kind of
Yeah.
okay.
For
Always
sure.
though, my cue is like I wind up like putting my hair behind, even if it's up. Like I do.
I'll touch my hair.
Yeah, I'll touch my hair. But I don't
I'm a little
nervous sign
nervous.
too of like looking at a guy. Like even if I'm nervous, but if I hair is
If they
up and
fix
it's
their
sweat.
hair.
But it's also depending where you're at. Because if
Yeah.
you're out, you look beautiful, so it's like easy to engage. But if you're like out in the street and you just came out of the gym or you're going to the grocery store or whatever, you're like, I get shot.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This just happened because I was at my storage and someone bought something because I'm selling everything. And I was a full day stressed out, tired, exhausted, crying because I'm selling everything. And this guy comes, he buys my stuff, and he's like super cutie. And he asks me for my number, and I'm like, shit, if he thinks I'm cute now, how did he come see me today? So it was actually like, I was like, oh wow, like normally I would probably be insecure, and this time I was like, sure. Shit, like my hair was like here, and my eyes were puffy.
Oh, that's
So
good.
yeah, so it was actually pretty. I was like, okay, cool.
I think it's changed for me as I've gotten older. In my 20s, I was like, at every single time I was out, I was like always dressed up. And I felt I got approached less. And when I'm just really casual, like hair up, nothing, like I've gotten approached so much more. And I'm like, I guess, and I asked her friends, like, oh, you're less intimidating. Because like when you're out with your girls, you just have this like this air to you. But when I'm just casual, it's like, oh, you're more like, okay, she's easily approachable. Maybe she won't like turn me down as much. And so before I started dating my fiance, and I actually tested this out. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna test this. Like whether I'm out like dressed up versus when I'm more like chill and relaxed.
Mhm.
And I'm actually, and I told my girlfriends this, like I'm gonna show like me at my whatever I thought was my worst. And if you like me then like it only gets better from here.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna actually show it like from the very beginning, like I was like working out with my fiance in the beginning, and my cousin was like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you I'm like, you know what, if he's still here with me like all this, then he actually like will see me at my best. I don't like set the bar really, really high and then have to like always have a face on. I'll just set it like my natural normal, and then every time it like just goes up.
That's exactly,
Yeah, but I wasn't like that. It was something that was just
Switched.
that switched. Yeah.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So now, do you approach any of you girls approach guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you do when you approach guys?
Sometimes I, say hi, how are you? The usual, where are you from? We were just talking about you and my girlfriend, this and this. I always come up with some, with some topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Cool. So,
Often,
how often you say?
yeah. I mean, not often, okay, but a few times. I think it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
So for the girls that don't approach guys, why do you think women aren't naturally like accustomed to approaching men?
Well, I think we grow up and think there's a lot about this. We can go into depth here, but we think like, the princess is rescued by the prince. Like the men have to come after the woman to get what they want. And you kind of, I think the feminine energy is one of more receiving.
Mm-hmm.
And although, I know there's many times in the past when I also wouldn't approach someone like in that way, necessarily if I wanted to date them or something like that. I would probably want to get their attention to attract their attention to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I also learn a lot that lots of guys are intimidated by me. There's the contact, the eye contact, and this, and I know that they're intimidated by me. So sometimes I just did the first move and say hello. And
then they take it from there.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
That's
For sure. That's a really good
Casual
point.
hello is always nice.
For like really,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think too, like women are inherited in us for men to like hunt us at the end of the day because we feel like a hunter is superior. And also too, like it shows the side of confidence. And I think confidence is also like an umbrella answer for a lot of things. So like confidence also stems from like support. If he can have emotional balance, because we lean on that person. Even a most independent woman like Hillary Clinton still probably wants to go home to a man that's going to rescue her, right? Or make her feel safe, or have that shoulder to cry on, or give her that advice that she needs to whatever she's doing, So I definitely think that's a big part of it, because a lot of men are like, why don't women just approach? And it's like saying, why do you want women to be nurturers? Why can't, why do women have to be beautiful? It's like, it's in our essence, and it's just the law of nature when it comes from man and woman. And I think that's really what separates us too. All right, so 2 more questions. So what are the inappropriate times to approach? We already talked about the gym. Is there any other inappropriate time to approach a woman?
If you're with another man.
Like a guy friend, your best friend.
Yeah, but the guy doesn't know that.
But how would he know it?
I think if you're involved in a conversation, like if I was out with a girlfriend that I didn't see, and we're really connecting, and it's a little bit off-putting for someone to approach you because it's an interruption. So I think it's like, but if you have friends that are just like casually hanging out, I don't know.
But how about if you were in that intense conversation with your girlfriend and a guy came up to you and was like, you girls have really good energy?
I would like that.
Yeah.
It's cute. Yeah, pretty good energy. It seems like what you're talking about is really important.
Yeah.
But I had to come stop you.
Exactly.
He's not really interrupting in that way.
Right.
He's just coming in and saying, okay, exactly.
And be like, and he can even add, like, if you want to finish your conversation, I'll be right over here. You just give me the eye signal, and I'd like to get to know you. I'll come back. Okay.
That is some confidence right there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. Okay. Interested when you're done.
Yeah.
I think even if a guy wasn't hot to me, I'd be like, there's something there that I want to freaking figure out.
Yeah. I like to find out who he is, what he does.
Yeah.
At least have to find out more about him.
That shows a lot of emotional intelligence, that they know how to lead, but also give you your space.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence.
Oh, the emotional intelligence is so important.
Yeah.
That's so important.
And also if they take care of your friend too, just I like it when guys will come up and be just interested in my friend, because it's not just because it feels awkward if they just talk to you and then you're like, oh,
You're leaving your friend there.
It's now an interruption.
Yeah.
Where it's not if they come in and really
I love that you brought that up. I'm so happy today because that's such a big thing, because men sometimes don't pay attention to the other friend. And what happens with women, we have to figure out who are we going to do more, or who are we going to pay attention to. Obviously, we've already built that trusting relationship with our friend that's out, so we're always going to choose the friend if she's uncomfortable and it's like, let's go to the bathroom because I'm bored.
Yeah.
Even if you're interested in a guy, you're like, I'm sorry, I have to go to the bathroom.
But again, that's the emotional intelligence too. If someone's coming up and approaching and not paying attention to the friend as well and just trying to get my attention, now you're not aware of the fact that I'm out with my friend.
I feel like there's another intention behind it.
Exactly. Right? Now you're giving the shark energy. You're not aware of the surroundings. So it's that emotional intelligence of you ladies are looking like you're having a great time. You have to bring both of us. Your job is to give something.
Because the other person, it's a woman as well.
Yeah.
So you're serving both of them. I will say, because this just came to me, when I'm with my dad, it is so uncomfortable.
Really?
It is so uncomfortable.
Yeah. When
someone comes up to me.
Yeah.
Super. He's
protecting you.
Yeah. And it's he's don't,
But kudos to those guys who do approach you with your dad.
oh my gosh. And he'll go like this. He'll literally go like this.
Yeah.
God,
yeah, you're
it's because
male, it's like a...
There has to be room for the male energy to enter with your dad.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm so glad we hit on that friend point to finish it off. All right. Thanks, ladies, for doing this how to approach for some advice for guys on how to approach, because this is a big thing. I mean, a lot of guys struggle with approaching women, and I think it's a really common question. I think we've hit all nails on everything, and I think I'm really happy that you guys shared the advice. I think the main components for you guys to take back is remember that I think a lot of things that we talked about in this video, obviously you'll see was a wide difference of opinion, but in general, the 2 keys that I can say that stuck out the most is really respect and intuition. So the respect and intuition, I always talk about how women feel with their energy, how women are always very intuitive. And there's a difference between a man and a woman. A man always develops from his prefrontal cortex, and he sees women as beauty first. Women feel with their intuition and how they balance out their emotions if you're going to make them feel secure. So in today's video with how to approach, I was able to give you those tools and really show you, besides with myself, with other women, how important that really is. And also to understand that there's a balance. So when you approach a woman, it's always about making her feel comfortable, but also talking about your insecurities is key. So I challenge you, if you are wanting to get better at approaching women, go up there and approach as many as you can, because you're only going to get better and you're going to come from a mindset of I can do this. And when you come from that mindset of I can do this, women will also share your opinions about that. So what I would challenge you to do is, if you're growing this mode of approaching women and want to find your dream girl or just get good with women, ask them how you did afterwards. Literally just say, I'm a shy guy. Right now in this moment, I'm messing up with you, and I just came over here because I thought you were beautiful. But can you give me any tips on how I could have made this better when I approached you? I can guarantee you, every girl will probably say, "Oh, it's okay, you know, it's fine. You were doing good. Oh, you're not nervous, blah blah blah." But there will be that one girl that will critique you, and that is all you need. All right, guys. So if you like today's video, give this a thumbs up, comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next one with these beautiful ladies. Bye for now.